So here is what you have for the web design challenge. So I have the HTML file open here, which is given to you. Only one file. Hopefully not as complex as some of the things you've been looking at, but we have the header, which is very straightforward. It only has the title on there of welcome to my website about Singapore, very exciting. Then we have the body, which is where all of the parts that appear within the web page will appear, and we can see them side by side. So we have center, which is centering text, H1 using the setting to change the size of that text around Singapore homepage. We've got a paragraph saying to tell us to select from the links below, and then we have image as the skyline of Singapore for our homepage. Now there are things you can do to change that. We can put in percentages to change the size of the page. You can mess around and change it to pixels if you wanted, and it could skew it. We could change the size so it was an actual banner rather than just a picture that's dumped. And then we have something that you might not have seen yet, which is a UL tag and an end UL tag. And it's basically an unordered list. There are different types of lists that you can create. And this particular one just puts bullet points. And again, you can actually customize it so that you can have different bullet points as well. So what are some of the things we want to do? Well, we want to have links on this homepage to all our sub pages, links back from each of those sub pages to each of the other pages too. So we're going to have to do quite a bit of editing. Now, what we can see under the unordered list is one list item which we can see spans this full line here. You can see it starts and ends there. Then we've got the text Marina Bay Sands, which we can see, and you can obviously tell that it's a hyperlink because of the way the mouse has changed. And the hyperlink is this A tag, this anchor, and the reference is taking us to a page called mbs.html. Now that's within the folder structure we've created and not an external link, so we refer to this as an internal link because it's within the web page that we're working on. So let's see what happens when we click that. Nothing, because that page does not exist. So that's going to be the first thing we have to do, is create that next page. Now, it's not the most efficient way to do this. Using the online websites and so on will be better, but we can create index page. Then we can choose File and New and paste our code in from that previous task and choose File, Save As, and we want to save it to the folder that has the rest of our files in. So mine is on web design, not in the images folder, and it's got to be called mbs.html, otherwise our link won't work, or we could just edit it if we do. And when we save it properly, it should change to the correct colours to show you that it's working. Now, I want to make some changes to this MBS page, so we know it's Marina Bay Sands. So Marina Bay Sands on this one. Hopefully you've noticed from the task that it's different images that each page is going to use. We can see in my view here that Marina Bay Sands is called mbs.jpg. So if we change this part from the name of the image to mbs.jpg, one of the useful features in brackets, you'll see it's got the autocomplete. You could mess around with the settings again if you wanted. And saving that, now we're on the Singapore homepage. The link's not changed, but now that we've created that second page, we have our our link working. Now when we click on this link, it should have links to all the other pages, and one of the things you want to include is external links to other websites other than the one we're currently on. So if we use Google to find a website that has information about Marina Bay Sands, so we could take them directly to the website there. So if we click that link, we could add that in to our Marina Bay Sands page, maybe perhaps put it after the ordered list. Now another good feature there, brackets auto-completing for me. Now you can put in AH reference equals quote and paste my link. And I need to put a little bit of text so people can click on it. So click here to visit MBS homepage. Save. And if I refresh this page here, you can see that other link comes in, and when they click on it, it's going to take them to the Marina Bay Sands webpage. Now, one of the problems we have here is that there's no link back to my homepage. So I can click on Marina Bay Sands, but it's linking to itself. So what we should do is have a link here to the homepage, and hopefully you notice that that page is called index.html. And if we save it so the little dot goes away, refresh this page, you can see the link's changed, click back to homepage, and now I can move between each of the pages. Now the Marina Bay Sands page is not complete because you had to include the text there from the document that was given to you, so there's some text to go in there about Marina Bay Sands. And again, you can add extra parts in here if you wanted to. So one of the other parts to try and do is to embed videos on there. So if we go to Marina Bay Sands videos, and let's see, maybe search for let's see, here we go, there's a link to the city. Now, if you just try and copy
good grammar and spelling
the
are
link
important
to this video,
if you want
put
to
that
write
in,
essays that inspire.
putting that link in won't actually achieve anything. So if we save this and we refresh the page, you can see that we've just basically got plain text. We could make it a link by changing it to an anchor tag. Don't forget the equals. And save that again and refresh. But one of the good things about YouTube is that it's got the ability to give you the embed code. So all I clicked on there was share, embed, and I'm just going to copy all of that code, go back to my page. I'll just get rid of the link, paste that in. You can see it's gone auto coloured and inside an iframe. Refresh this page now, and we can see that the video has been embedded in there. Now, one of the other challenges you have is to get a visit counter working, and there's lots of those online. You can just search for visit counters, and again, it will give you that code. And then one of the other challenges is embedding a Twitter feed onto the pages, and again, you can find tutorials online for how to do that, and the code will be auto-generated for you. So what do you still have to do now? Well, there are more pages that need to be created, and we also need to have links to each of those pages from one another. So they will require some editing. So I'm going to take my MBS page and copy it, but now the editing will get trickier. So if we look at the images, we've got the Merlion page. So file and new, paste this in, save it, again making sure it's going to the same folder, and we'll call this one merlion.html, and save, and you can see it changes, and make some changes on here. We've got the Merlion and we want to change the picture to the Merlion. And I'm just going to take out the iframe for now so that it's not there. And we could click and change this. Now obviously that link has to be changed as well down here. Now we've already got the link back to the home page, so let's just see what we can do here. So we click on the Singapore home page, we can look at Marina Bay Sands, go back to the home page. There's no way for us to get to the Merlion page. So we've got a few things that we need to do. If we go back to the home page, we can get the list item part, paste in another link, change it to Merlion and Merlion page. Now this is where it's tricky, because on the Merlion page we also need a link to the MBS page. So normally what you can do is copy paste from one and add them to the other. So we've got 2 links on each page at the moment, internal links, 2 links here, then the index page also needs one for the Merlion, so quite tricky. This is why we need to test it thoroughly to make sure we've got links on all our pages, and I best save again there. So back to our Singapore homepage, refresh, we go to Marina Bay Sands, my title changes, we can see they've got a blue link that I haven't visited here, we've got our external link, embedded video. So let's go to the Merlion page from there, and it's not working. So let's figure out why. So we got to MBS, we've got merlion.html on our link, and let's try the homepage link and see if it works from there. Not working either. Let's see if we can figure out why. Seems to be okay. Let's check saved as, and we'll make sure it's been saved into the correct place. Back to web design. Yeah, I wasn't careful enough when I saved it. I must have saved it to somewhere else. So let's try again. We'll save it into that web design folder. Refresh Singapore homepage. Click on Merlion. It's working this time. So be careful with that and make sure that your locations are correct. And don't do what I did, which is to think that it automatically saved to the same folder as the others. So we can click on Marina Bay Sands, homepage, Merlion. We've got all of these links working all between each of the different pages and tested them there. And it's your job now to finish off the rest of the pages correctly. So each page needs to link to all the other pages. We want to have embedded YouTube videos. We want to have embedded Twitter feeds, Instagram feeds too, with maybe a hashtag Merlion that we can have in there. We want to have visit counters that count up every time a page has been visited, and really we want you to experiment and add your own features in. You'll be able to find lots of tutorials online so that you can use a CSS file to make this look more interesting, because it is possibly one of the world's worst looking websites at the moment, but you can find CSS code online that will very quickly make this look a million times better without having to write any of the code for it. Or you should have been doing some CSS challenges in class. Perhaps you can look at what you did in class to change the CSS code, to change paragraph formatting, make the lists more interesting. You could try just some basic HTML things by changing the background color, trying to get images on for the background. You could download other images and add them to here. You could look at the previous tasks you've completed and have a carousel of images that load. You could look at automatically loading all the images from one folder. Really, whatever you can think of, you should try and achieve it, and shows your creativity.